Alright, why hello there, welcome back to EU4. Today, as you might have been able to tell from the thumbnail, we succeeded with the Jewish one faith. Spoilers. And I've been struggling for a way to put that onto YouTube because the final couple of years of this were, well, the final century really, was kind of a drag. Well, it wasn't really a drag because it was really exciting for us because we didn't know whether or not we were going to get it. And it was very tight, especially near the end. But it was going to be, because we had to play really slowly, it was going to be like another 200 episodes, so I had no clue as to how to put this on YouTube. So we're just going to do semi-timeline, semi-highlights, something, banana, penis, vagina. So yeah, we left off on the YouTubes in 1699, and I'm going to be showing you the timeline, and hopefully I still remember pretty much how we did this. I'm gonna need another coffee for this one. Oh, also shit, I'm naked, I have no hat. Wow. I can't talk for shit if I'm not streaming. Yeah, it's also been very busy with work lately because I'm I'm stopping the work at one of the restaurants where I work at, but I'm still staying there for a couple weeks so I can find someone else. So right now I'm technically working 6 days a week. So that's kind of shit. It's supposed to be 3. It's going to be 3 soon. It was 4 and now it's 6. So yeah, a bit of a complicated situation. So yeah, sorry about that, but now you know why. At least that's something of an explanation. I could just skip sleeping and all that. I'm not gonna skip streams to do editing and all that, but you know, have to try and get some shit up, so that's why I'm more scruffy as well. But anyway, without further ado, let's get right to this. So we left off in 1699, horribly in debt, and we are trying to feed some stuff to our vassals. We've got Verdun and Bremen right now, as well as Avignon, who are really good vassals because they get all sorts of bonuses to converting. And we're basically trying to conquer Europe here, whilst at the same time grabbing these colonial nations and getting them to be Jewish quickly enough. So anyway, let's unpause here, and yeah, as you can see, we're just feeding land to our vassals, and we're going to get a lot of vassals because I don't need dip anymore. So we're gonna go straight over the limit with that. But of course, the debt is going to remain a problem here, and France is gonna get partitioned. I'm gonna chain truce break these because France is annoying. Any big blob, you just kind of chain truce break that. And that pretty much means the die is cast, because after you do that, after you chain truce break someone in a certain religious group, you have to eradicate the religious group completely. Because they'll always want to join coalitions against you, which it's kind of shit for a little bit, but after you're done with breaking them apart, you know, you'll have a little moment of respite before you can move on to the next religious group. So that's fun times, and we're grabbing Mainz in the Teutonic Order here as well. I've got Mainz, Teutonic Order, Najd is joining in the fight here. And in the meantime, we're conquering South America. And in the year 1736, we have the solution to our little debt problem, which I'm just going to play the clip for you right now. And if you haven't already, check out the video on how to get infinite money. I made a tutorial on how to get infinite money by taking loans and then paying them off. There's a bug with integer overflow, which means that if you get your interest and your loan size high enough, the interest that you have to pay goes into the negatives. But there is a more detailed explanation in that video, and I'll put a link in the description for that if you want to go check that out. Here's why I'm not worried about bankruptcy at all. I'm gonna save the game and make a copy of the save file before we do this, because I don't want to go bankrupt right now. But here's why bankruptcy is not gonna be a problem, right? Let me just make a small copy of the save file here. Based. Right. So I've been taking debt like nobody's business. I don't even know what our debt is. What's our debt? 239,000. Now that's a nice debt. It's a very nice debt. But you know, that's not nearly as good as
Mr. Trump, with the exception of your family, have you ever been told no?
Oh, many times. I've been told no by him. No, many times. I mean, my whole life really has been a no, and I fought through it. And, you know, I talk about it. It's not been easy for me. It has not been easy for me. And, you know, I started off in Brooklyn. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million. I came into Manhattan, and I had to pay him back, and I had to pay him back with interest. But I came into Manhattan, I started buying up properties, and I did great. And then I built the Grand Hyatt, and I got involved with the convention, so I did a good job. But I was always told that that would never work. Really? Even my father, he said, you don't want to go to Manhattan. And that's not our territory, because he was from Brooklyn and Queens, where we gave him a small loan of $1 million, 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 of $1 million. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million. I came into Manhattan. I did a good job, but I was told that that would never work. It's not been easy for me.
That's a lot of money right there.
My father gave me a small loan of a
Great wall. Bigger and bigger shit, America. Great again.
I don't care. It's an old subject.
Damn. Convincing nobody tougher. Not a nice person. Shit.
I just take money from
You know, you could,
Shit.
Fuckers.
I know.
Really smart.
You remember. Damn.
I love anything disgusting.
Now you could go right on ahead and take your vassals to the candy shop. Cause exactly how we're going to end up doing this. Of course the vassals don't like it, the colonial nations don't like it, but I can it doesn't matter, because I'll just use my California trick. I'll build level 8 forts on all of their provinces, after which they'll go into debt, and then who's going to be the saving grace? It's going to be me. I'm going to be the saving grace. I'm going to open up their shit, and I am going to pay off their debt, reducing their liberty desire to jack shite, which means I can have an infinite amount of vassals, an infinite amount of colonial nations. I can have an infinite amount of anything because I've got infinite money. I can make these guys loyal by just building a wall. Because they can't pay for that wall. They go bankrupt if they pay for that wall. And that's, it's pretty good if you ask me. Yeah. Now, if we did this as Spain, and we picked admin ideas, but of course we kind of had to pick admin ideas, that slowed us down. Now, if you play as the Netherlands, you can get an event that gives you +2 interest, and if you do that, then you can do this little trick sooner. Now we had to get 3,277 loans. Yes, loan size. So we overshot a little bit. If you overshot by too much, overshoot by too much, you're going to get interest again. Change your dynasty to Rothschilds. Yeah, so basically, what it's gonna come down to is being able to feed all of this land to my vassals. theoretically, yes, it's very much possible. If you use 8 vassals, or 10 even, in terms of how possible it is, we're still good to go, because we have enough missionaries. Our colonial nations are all converted. We can give them the stuff that they need to be able to convert everything. The colonial nations that have high development provinces, I took those by full annexing the overlord, so this Frankian shit, they will not get a penalty for wrong culture land. So that's also why we're going to get Newfoundland and New Sweden by annexing Sweden and Great Britain, so that they won't get the penalty for wrong culture. But we've got a long way to go. Now, I've almost eradicated all of Sunni, which is going to be great. The vassals, like I said, look at this. They convert the land alright. I just need to give it to them. So it's all about just conquering it. We are so close. Like, I've tried one faith as a stupid religion so many times. But this has got to be the closest one that I've gotten to. But I don't know if we can make it. The Ottomans are big, yes, but they're 10 wars. They're not even 10 wars. They're way less than that. Alright, so that was the infinite money. We've got +3 missionary strength everywhere now. Like, all of my vassals have +3 missionary strength. And we keep everybody loyal by building forts, and they will delete their forts if they're not at war, and they can't really afford them. This is Canada, by the way. This is British Canada, and this is Sweden. I don't know why it breaks apart, but sometimes it does. The timeline feature is a little bit bugged as far as that goes. But yeah, they'll delete the forts if they're at peace. So we're constantly at war to make sure that my vassals or the colonial nations don't delete the forts. Because we spammed their entire land with level 8 forts wherever we could. Wherever there was a building slot available. Built the forts wherever there was a building slot available. Well, actually 2 building slots, because one has to be reserved for a cathedral so that they can convert the land really quickly. But yeah, we built those everywhere, and if you stay at war, then they won't delete them, and they just go massively into debt, and then by paying it off, you reduce their liberty desire. So everybody's basically loyal. There might be a couple vassals who are disloyal from time to time, but my vassals go into debt constantly because of all the wars as well. So we're busy wrapping up Europe here, and we're grabbing some more vassals. We're grabbing Magdeburg. I'll try and get a full list of my vassals, but basically any guy, any tag with bonuses to converting was my vassal. And later on into the game, every tag that had that picked religious ideas became my vassal, so we kept lowering the bar. So you're about to witness the partitioning of the Ottomans, if I remember correctly. And I mean, look at this though. Like, it's 1756, and we still haven't even touched Asia yet. So yeah, the last decades of this were pretty stressful, to be sure. So this is GB taken out. We full annexed them so that we got Canada for free. It's important that you do that, because that means that the colonial nations will not get a penalty for not converting, for having the wrong culture. And there you go. That's the first war against the Ottomans. So this is one war, and we only took out forts. Now, a couple of my vassals picked up unrestricted coring. One of them was Alsace, Avignon, and Verdun, those picked unrestricted coring, so I can feed them whatever I want, and it doesn't even need to be connected. Now, after this first war against the Ottomans, we start the invasion of India. And this is all really problematic because during this, it's 1767 now, Yaren was eating Russia. Russia is Orthodox, Yaren is Tengri. And I had completely forgotten that Yaren had set Sunni as their syncretic faith. So right now, they're converting Orthodox land. Which, if they convert Orthodox land in 1790, those provinces will get religious zeal for 30 years, which is until the end of the game. So we have a hard deadline to conquer Yaren and Russia, and for that matter, any country that owns wrong religion land, right? Because if they convert that shit, then we can't ever convert it unless we use some very special tricks, right? To get rid of religious zeal. You can, there are ways, but it's ugly, right? So if you have to do that for an entire area, that'd be super fucking shit. So we have to take care of Russia and Yaren, and all of freaking Asia is a tributary of Ming. So yeah, things are going to go pretty badly here. In the meantime, we're still truce breaking the Ottomans a couple more times, just so that to make sure that they're more or less completely dead. But we can't keep spending our admin on that because we have to stab up so that we can truce break stuff over here. So now I feel like the Ottomans are more or less beat. And as you see, we're taking almost no land ourselves. Almost everything is going to vassals. We're even grabbing ourselves a Syria and an Iraq here, as well as a Yemen. Because they all pick religious ideas, and they have Arabian ideas, which gives them a bonus to missionary strength. Also, at the same time, we conquered Majapahit, who was made into a vassal because they've got missionary strength, and Malabar and Venad also pick religious ideas, so we're using those as well. And Vijayanagar now got full annexed and released. Now I had to give some parts of Vijayanagar over to my vassals because it's just simply too many provinces for them to convert until the end of the game. So I'm kind of just like redistributing the land, redistributing the means of production here, the means of conversion. And Mawar is next. I'm trying to step through this because it's all going really freaking fast. I'll make another summary video where I just play the timeline with no commentating on it. And yeah, here we see Yaren eating more bits and pieces of Russia, and the stuff we're gonna do, like right now, this is not pretty, man. This is not pretty. Like, this is all a matter of months, but